back. I like saying that. Ain't went nowhere. Ain't went nowhere outside of up. We taking y'all too though. You better believe it. Taking you too.
Thank y'all for y'all support always.
Indeed.
Appreciate that.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you. It's another one, huh?
Yeah.
We powering in the hour.
Hour.
We powering in the hour. It doesn't take too long. These things go really fast too. I must admit. You know.
Yeah, thank everybody for also supporting Mark, young Mark we had on last week. You know, I'm sure he got. I was seeing his little social media. He got a few hits from the interview and everything.
That's
People
great.
were checking him out.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah,
He deserved it. You know. I mean, like when you put yourself out like out there, you know, to share, you know, prepare and be vulnerable. You know, it's a very it's a process. You know, I can't say it's hard to do. You know, it's just something that you wake up and you say I'm going to, and you commit to it, and you do it, and you do it, and you do it until it's done. You know, and that in itself takes dedication. You know, so I had a really good time chopping it up with young Mark for sure. You know. And time moves fast. That wasn't even last week. That was week before last.
Oh wow, yeah. And man, that brother, let me tell you, I went to Walmart this week. That brother was out on the other end. Come on, holding the book, selling his book. I literally saw him doing transactions. Somebody selling his book. So he is on his word, and he is really hustling, man.
For sure. Yeah, we was talking about getting up and getting at it early when I first got here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best way. That's one of the best ways to travel.
Man, the fact that he considers what he's doing his work. Like, I gotta go to work. You be thinking like, oh, he gotta go to a job. No, he's like, no, I gotta go to work.
He about to punch in.
Yeah.
Like the punch in is real. Yeah, no doubt. How's everything been going with you and with you? Period. Let's focus on you singularly.
With me, everything's been good, man. I don't even know if I had told you that I wrote and produced a play that was it happened Sunday.
No, bro.
Man. Look, I'm gonna be honest. The reason I didn't like put it out there a lot is because I know my people will support. And the tickets was $100. This was an anniversary event for a pastor that's been in the ministry for 30 years. And the tickets was $100. And it's like I was just like, man, you know, I'm gonna wait till we're hosting the whole play.
Okay.
So my people can come out where it's free.
Nah, bro, you gotta say the thing, bro. You just shared with me something today, just on some flyby. Hey, bro, you know, and look at the word goals. Hey, bro, goal. You know, and I was like, all right, bro, let me got that on shop, you know, put something on there.
Yeah.
See, we got that's what Mark Book was saying. You know, we don't know unless you say something. When you say something, then you know that's what it is. You know, and then whoever does, they do, and whoever don't, that's cool too, you know, and nothing should be, as we roll into these beings that we're going into this age, we get to separate ourselves from old mindsets and ways of things. Back in the day, fellas used to say fellas can't cry. Man, I'll fight you over my tears.
Yeah,
them
tears might save lives.
I'm just saying, I'll fight you over my tears, you know, and we, you know, so next time, bro, say something, bro.
Yeah.
Say something, because that's supportive. I got the ability to support, you know, I get to, you know, all this circulating of the black money, you know, that stuff don't start on the mainstream with millionaires.
Right.
That start from the mud, you know what I'm saying? With the 10, with the 20, you know, with the 100, you know what I'm saying? That's what it start here. And then if you, as you see fit, you go, you know what, they did this for me on their next opportunity. I'm gonna go ahead cipher it around. It ain't gotta be changed. It could be sweat equity. It could be anything. But you know, you put that out there, and we get it circulating. You know, like without circulation, there's no manifestation. Everybody out here nowadays talk about manifesting, Manifesting is like the fourth prong in the four-prong system. If you miss the first three steps, circulation is the mighty three. If you miss that circulation, you know, just like our blood is circulating right now.
Exactly.
If our blood does not circulate through this vessel ain't operate right. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that nigga is real. You know, shout out to my aunt by marriage. However, you know, I just clarified that for y'all technical people. I just say aunt. Cause she had broke her ankle. Yeah, man. Me and wifey was finna hit the town on Friday. I'm cleansing off the car and everything. I see her. You know how we do. We cleanse off the windshield. It's like a movie. You know, you see her, see a significant other in there, and then I see how she reacting. You know, I'm like, you know, what's good? And she you know, gestures towards me. She like, ain't she fell again? You know, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know. And she further damaged what was already damaged. You know, so now that minor became a major. You know, but it's like we rise to that occasion. You know, and we find out everything. But I say, she's circulating now. Her blood circulating. She not dead. Yeah. She's still here. Yeah. You know, her mom was freaking out a lot of it. You know, because that's her. Batman and Robin. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. Like they look, man. You see one, you gonna see the other, man. You know, and she was freaking out. We got her into the ambulance and everything. It was like. And she got the ride this time. The first time it happened, they didn't let her ride and stuff like that. So that anxiety was going crazy. They took her to Roseland. That anxiety going even more crazy. This time they let her ride. They took her to little company. And, I mean, it was just more better for my mother when she was going through. You know. Right. However, when I was walking away to hop in the car, and the lady, the paramedics were so kind. And she was closing the door. I was letting them know, like, it's all good. Potentially it's just a little break. Man, it could have been, but that has to do with that circulation. That's how important circulation is. Sometimes in relationships, we have a break. They break. You know, will they heal? They can heal. They can mend, depending on what words you want to create over that situation and who you get to be with that other person. Right. However, it's still opportunity because we still circulate. You know, so when you have opportunity, bro, and I'm challenging you, bro, say that, bro. Like, not no fly by one, like what you said today about your goal. That just so happens, you know what I mean? But I mean, intentionally call your mates, like, hey, this is going on, whichever way you know how you do, bro. You be doing that, you know. So don't not do it. You know what I'm trying to do. That's how I don't even know. We got a topic today.
The play was a hit, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
The play was a hit.
I mean, I know that. But a hit with extra capital, though. You know what I'm saying? But speaking to it,
though. I wanted to discuss business.
Okay.
As far as pros and cons, benefits, non-beneficial. What you got on the table?
Business. Pros and cons?
Yeah.
Boy, I'm gonna write a list, matter of fact.
Yeah. So I don't know when's the last time you like worked a job. You know what I mean?
Ooh, sheesh.
Yeah. But
that's a good question. Good Lord.
But I wanted to go over business because I know we have a lot of younger people that are in this phase of working, and doing what you got to do, which is understandable. But the fact that we have someone younger here that keeps it, his job is like, my job is my side hustle, but my business of me is most important. So I wanted to go over like the pros and cons of that. Pros and cons of not being in the societal norm of I get a check every and the pros and cons of how jobs. Some jobs these days are like manipulating people. And then also, I just did a post recently about how I really didn't care what a person does. I value them. Meaning that you can work for anyone and work anywhere, but if something happens to you, they're gonna put somebody right else in your spot.
Mm.
So valuing you is important business.
Yes.
It's the most important business.
Yes. Yes, I love that. Well, I mean, you just said a mouthful there.
Yeah.
You know, you definitely said a mouthful. I know personally for a big pro for entrepreneurism is self-development.
Yeah.
It's stressed.
Yeah.
It's if you don't, it don't. And even if it does, it's not consistent because the development isn't consistent. There's something about becoming that cannot be given.
Yeah.
You know, it is earned. And it is earned daily. It is not a one-trick time, one-trick pony, one happening event, and it is over. It's over and over and over. It's refresh and refresh and refresh and refresh. It is one of my favorites, claim over blame. You know,
I love that, bro.
And
I did a video.
Most definitely.
Most
Most definitely. You know, I get cipher stuff from the good Lord all the time. The law is real. One of the cons that you spoke of is no guarantee. No guarantee. However, when I look at it, and like you say, and I had to remember my last gig. I really had to remember my last 9 to 5 person in. Good God. It wasn't guarantees there either.
There you go.
You know, like you said, something happens to you, boom, boom. Boom, you, all right, we okay, they gone, man. You know what I mean? I mean, when I was at my works at my last gig, these fools was asking Desi, and I just had started dating her, where I was, but they got my address, my number, my address. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can check in whenever you want, and we can talk about what we need to talk about. But disrespect to me demanded me to disrespect at that time. I see it different at this time. However, if you're going to not hear, if you're going to listen to my complaint and not proactively do something towards that, even calling me to a higher game, that could have been on the table. But if you're just going to keep doing it and act like it's okay, then something gets to change. I just took myself out of that spot and said, I know for a fact that this is not it. I know I've had the experience from that at that time, bro. I worked with my father for over a year, in two different stints over a year, to see what he was doing to feed us. You know, all those years that he did.
Now, when you say work, is this like this like liberal work, meaning that you just you assist in him as he does his things, or are you like you literally check punching clocks and
punching clock, bro?
Okay.
Yeah, punching clocks with him. USPS. Shout out to all the workers.
Yes.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Yes.
I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me my mail one time.
We appreciate you.
Every which way, so many ways, bro. However, it showed the mental isms that it took to hit it every day, you know. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it's these relationships between the 9 to 5 and the entrepreneur are so close. It's so many more similarities. That they're not really spoken about. I'm glad we're talking about it today. But that no guarantees thing, a lot of people look at the entrepreneur life and they'll say that there's no guarantees. And when I examine that 9 to 5 life, I learned that there are no guarantees there either. It's just who am I. And that's what it was on both sides of the avenue. It was who am I? Why am I doing this? You know, the whole who, what, when, where, why, it comes in, you know. And those things really those experiences really set me on the path to say it's about for mine. Because we need everybody out there. Everybody can't be an entrepreneur. Please,
Right.
you know, wait for an entrepreneur to knock at your door, or go find one.
Everybody can't be a 9 to 5.
And everybody can't be a 9 to 5. So this isn't to say one is good and one is bad. It's just to examine both sides. And personally, like I say, it's dealer's choice. Whatever you do, though, make sure it's multi-purposeful. Make sure it's not just singularly for the children, singularly for the wife. Make sure or a husband, make sure you're getting something out of it. Make sure you're creating something with it. You know, make sure it's doing something in the realm of elevating you. Make sure you have a purpose with it, and I'm good to go with whatever you do, and hopefully you're good to go with what I do.
Yeah, because granted, man, it's just certain jobs that people are put on the earth to do. You know, I mean, you look at a firefighter, you look at a police officer, you look at a doctor, you look at a postal worker, you look at a garbage man. It's like, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, but wrapping my mind around running in a fire, like whether I got on gear or not, wrapping my mind on running to gunfire, you know, it's like you're a different type of, you're a different type of being, you know, you're a different type of spirit, and so I mean, we thank and support, you know, everybody that does those jobs, man. You know, we are not here trying to knock no job. We're not trying, you know,
actually lobbying for you to get paid more money.
Yes,
That's what you need.
Yes,
that's what you need in your life. That's real. That's
now, I'm coming from a standpoint of a person that a lot of jobs, majority of the jobs I've worked before I was working for myself, I've attached to people, or people attached to me. That's probably been since a childhood. So when I say this statement, I mean this statement in a way where, you know, you'll understand. When something happens in your life and you're working at a job, 9 times out of 10, you're only going to have 1 to 2 people that you work with that may support you, meaning that, you know, when mama died, daddy died, and you sick, you're in the hospital. Don't get me wrong, you know, like I said, I'm coming from a person that's been I worked in a steel mill where, man, I got a real bad cold out of the blue one time, just like high fever, you know, in the hospital room spinning, and the guys from the mill got a card, put a bunch of money in it, and you know, so it's just, don't get me, I'm not saying that. I worked at a law firm where the same thing happened. You know, it's like I got real sick one time, and I mean, everybody at the firm put money in the card. You know, the boss came and saw me, so it's like, again, right? You know, and of course, these are different eras of time, but these people will replace you no matter how powerful you are at the job, no matter what. So there is no guarantees. You know, I've had clients over the years that have been training with me on the lunch, and they go back from their lunch break, and the whole floor is empty. The whole floor of hundreds of people, desks just empty, and they like, wow. They had nothing to do but to come back to the gym and tell me, wow, I don't know what happened. Wow. I've trained, you know, young students that were going to school for this or for that. I gotta go home. My parents just lost their jobs. You know, after 30, 40 years, 20 years. You know, I've worked with people that have been CEOs or VPs of companies. And I just got, it just phased me out. It just gave me a severance and phased me out. What am I gonna do? You know, so I worked with people who have been mad at their job, and they've fell sick in the office. Been in their office with the door closed for an hour or 2, unconscious.
Nobody checking.
Nobody knows. And, you know, and they've been taken out of that position, going to the hospital. Anybody show up to say, wow, you know, we sorry that happened? No. Just when they got better, that's where they went, right back to work. Okay. You know, so the thing is, like my brother just said, you know, make sure it's something that's beneficial to you. And if you're in a situation where you just have a job and you have to do it, and it's something that you're good at or you love doing, but it may be damaging to you, you gotta value you. You're the best investment. You're the best business you got going. You're the best business you got going, because without you, especially if we had jobs or positions where things count, where people count on us, people rely on you. You know, it's like I don't really want to tell my kid, man, I worked myself to a death, you know, to oblivion, to where I, you know, it's like I don't get no points in that. You know, your kid gonna look at you like, I'm not doing what you did. It's stupid. You know, it's like, for what? You know, and then, look, and they still shut down the company, Dad. What the, you know, like,
Yeah, man.
it's stupid.
Yeah, man.
You know, so looking at our age and then looking to the younger generation, we can understand why they so adamant and against things that we did, because they looking and seeing, you sick, you got this problem, you got that problem, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you, even though we got a house and the car, you still ain't got nothing, you know, they take a stance on looking at, man, I don't see really nothing good, you know, that done came out of, you know, because they don't understand values yet. I don't see nothing good, you know. It's like, but you forget that every day you done hate.
Yeah.
You don't forget it every day you done had lights.
For sure.
You know, you forget the time that, you know, we may have to borrow some food or something from somebody else, but you ate. You know, you forget about them rides for you to go here and there. You forget about your school fees, your classes, your clothes, you know, they forget about those things.
Shout out to the parents, you know, holding it down, making a low-key Disney World for your child. Shout out to you.
Right,
But that's why I say, bro, that's why I had the opportunity and created the opportunity to get into the workforce. You know, nobody told me to do it. I seen it done, and I got curious. It was like high school over.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let's get it. I remember this is another pro for the entrepreneur mind. Network. You know, and like you say on the, you were saying about the person getting sick and this and another. A lot of the times your network isn't. It's not like you have a network in a 9 to 5, but it's not driven. It's not a purpose-driven network that has this standard operating procedure for when things go down.
And let me give a shout out. Let me give a shout out to the people that hustle in their 9 to 5. And this is what I mean.
I like that.
I mean, if you getting up and you going to that office every day, but you selling cakes on the side.
I like that.
You doing nails, you doing hair,
Yeah.
you doing carpentry work, you doing electrician work. Man, I respect that.
That's real.
I respect that.
Yes, because they're all out there for sure.
Man, because you doing double time.
Yes.
And one day that shift gonna happen, and you gonna have to decide. They called me to do this big job. Well, I can't stay here at this job. And yeah, they may be giving me this, but this is the chance for me to do my Tabitha Brown and go on this way for myself. And maybe I'll sit my husband or wife down, and we can just do what we want to do and live out the rest of our days, loving and exploring life.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I tell you, it's whatever skill sets that you get to build. You know, you want to make sure whatever you're doing is creating a bigger, better, badder, faster, stronger you know, at the same time. So then therefore you can say, you know, like yourself brilliantly, you say, I get paid to work out. You know, you're like, it's not just this thing that you're doing to stay lively, and, you know, and you know, you made a ministry out of it, and you monetized it through the business side, you know. So you're over here, you're like, this is my ministry, you're over here, like, and give me my money, you know. And get back to the network side, right? So the networking is just it's a powerful prompter in the entrepreneur realm, where the level that you're at is not the level that you're going to remain in, because that's not the purpose. In that 9 to 5 realm, it can be, I'm just here, satisfy me, make me feel good, aka, you know, that Holly Berry thing, you know, make me feel good. You make me feel good. You know, in an entrepreneur mindset, it's like, I get to make me feel good through the things that are going on. And what I do like about the 9 to 5 though, in that way, it's not really a con, unless a person is willing to go for the con. Those meetings that they have and those people that they bring in to those 9 to 5s a lot that sound like they just blah 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 blah. They actually laying a lot of game down for you all. That just sounds cliche as hell from time to time. It might sound cliche, but it's gold. It's gold in them damn hills. I promise you. You know, they're speaking about ways of being that could potentially not just change you on your job. They can transform your household. You know, from listening to comprehension to execution.
To not being concerned about, kind of, you gotta have a blinder focus when it comes to like building things sometimes. And when you're that supervisor or that CEO or that VP or a person comes in and they talking to you about these things, they're not telling you not to live life, but they also telling you that, man, you know, what it takes, oh boy, is this it? You know, so,
oh boy,
you know, the key word and what they always explain to you is sacrifice. You know, take sacrifice. You got to choose. You know, is this more important than this? And if you really want this outcome, this is what you got to do. And that comes with the 9 to 5, and that comes with the entrepreneurship.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. It's just on that con side for the 9 to 5. It's the predictability. Just the predictability when a person has that predictable 1 week check, predictable 2 week check, or maybe if they just do the monthly, that big cipher at the end of the month. Whichever way you break bread, we got to make sure that we understand that I'm not really going to pull the best out of me, and I'm still going to get the goal, because the goal was just money. And an entrepreneur, even though every entrepreneur that is selling something right now is selling you to get money, more money, they know that ain't the goal.
Right.
They know that ain't the goal. That's actually what follows. So as I continue to refine Gerald West Jr., like, bro, the craziest things happen. Bro, they be popping up like crazy. However, that's the entrepreneur style where I learned when I was getting mental training out in LA, and bro, I had to overcome this, so it was ridiculous. I would do so many things. I remember when my older cousins, all the fellas, we got together, bro. I was so stuck spiritually that it came off in the financial end. I was so stuck mentally that it came off in the financial end, bro. I couldn't even scrape together like 150, bro. You know, and I had to been like late 20s, maybe like 30 at that time. Could be potentially 30 at that time, and I couldn't even scrape it up. But it was because the lack of creativity, and then the doubt, and then the worthiness issues. And it was just a lot of things that culminated in this I can't, how can I disposition, you know. And they you know, my cousin got together, they like, bro, you just front, you know, you do this for them, you do that for them, you do that for them, boom, you know, and it was glorious. Now, the same thing happened about 4 years later when I did this mindset training, maybe 3 years. 3 years later when I did this mindset training, bro. And I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get from Chicago to LA? And I ain't finna drive, bro. I'm not finna drive. And this is for a whole year, bro. 3 different primes, basic, advanced, and legacy program, a leadership program. Bro, I found out that I didn't need it in my pocket, bro. I didn't need it in my pocket. I don't have to have a thing in my pocket and I'm still all good. But see, I didn't understand that lifestyle because I saw my old man grind and get it, and, you know, through his anger, through his depression and get it, and, you know, shout out to Pops, love you, man. And things of that nature, you know, mom the same way. You know, the plans was to stay at home, but when things went south, she had to leave the tip, you know, that sort of thing. go hustle, find her way. Shout out to mom, love you, baby. Shout out to mom, love you. And that was the way, bro. It was like blue collar or nothing.
Yeah,
blue collar holler or nothing. What you doing? Who you doing it with?
Yeah.
How you getting paid? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
But bro, when I found that out there, I ain't need the money. I needed the heart, bro.
Yeah.
I needed the heart to be in sync with the head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And bro, I had the craziest car. Yeah, how you gonna get in? I'm in the middle of figuring it out now. Okay, it's all good. You say that, we getting you there. Like for real. Like, man, I was told only this person do it. Mama only do that, or this person only do that, or bro. I mean, it was mind-boggling that
We wouldn't be sitting here if it was just our main house that took care of it. Me and you wouldn't even know each other.
That's a fact.
We wouldn't even be sitting.
That's a fact.
We wouldn't be sitting. I found out that same lesson later when with my business. So my clients, just like I said, I've done most of my life. They become like my family.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'll tell people sometimes I really, I don't really need money. I could live off, blessings if I wanted to, but it's like I'm just one of the people that abuse what people are offering.
Yeah.
And so I learned that the hard way, and it was like something, a magazine event or something that was coming up, and I wanted to go, but it was like it's like, nah, I'm not at that level yet. I don't need to be around these people. I don't have nothing to offer. And that's like the thing of an entrepreneur. No matter what we put in, we know that we gotta go. We gotta get there. Because it's like, just put me in front of just get me there. I'm maybe a little unsure, but get me there.
Yeah, boy. Showtime.
Yeah, and man, one of my clients made a phone call, and here I am rubbing elbows with people. What do I do? He's like, oh, well, I don't, and it's like, it's funny because when you get in them arenas, you find on a higher echelon of places, business cards don't matter. Websites don't matter. It's almost like you got to be careful when you go to school and people want to put you in these boxes of what you're supposed to do, and it's just gonna pop to work so easy if you just study this, read this, do that, and it's like then you get in the real world and it's like, oh, just give me a number. Or you like have a.
That's the demo.
It's like
I like that.
And
that's
it's like
hard.
Then
that's a hard point, right?
And I was always one of the people that my clients, I would always let my clients kind of vent when they come train with me.
Yeah.
I don't really ask what you do unless it's pertaining to something physical. Because I had an instance one time where I trained a lady and she's like, she's like, I served the kids at school. My arms, I couldn't cook the potatoes. So after that, I'll be like, do you sit? Do you do labor work or you corporate work? So that's the only thing I'd ask. And come to find out, some of my clients, they these arenas and that arenas and having lunches and dinners with Obama and and they like,
I know.
They're like, just come. Just come. Or you know what? I'm gonna call you when I'm with so and so, and so and that's a blessing. And sometimes, it's hard to get to that space if you stay in a norm. They always say, like entrepreneurs got to be a little crazy, but it takes a little bit of, man, I just got to do it. I got this product, I got this service. Hey, just get me in front of one thing I've learned is, and I preach this, and I just told this to my oldest son, stay ready. Stay ready. If you ain't ready on paper, stay ready here. If you ain't ready here, stay ready here. I told him, you gotta work for a minute. He just started back working another job. I told him, I'm like, yo, take this time.
Shout out to my toys, brother.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I was like, take this time So write out your ideas. I said, you got a phone, record them if you don't want to write. But I said, because once you get back into that hustle and bustle, I said, you don't want to look up and years done went by and you like, I want to do it. It's like, now is the time. Now is the time. And I've always done something on the side. I'm in the clothing business now. But I've been designing clothes since I was 10. You know, selling clothes in the hood since I was 12. Even in the very area where we at, I was selling clothes. You know, so it's like, you know, designing prom dresses. You know, t-shirts. My aunt, my uncles wore my jackets. You know, it's like that's you know, drawing, painting. You know, those are things that I've always done. But it was my grandfather. And I'm gonna tell the world about T.C. Britton. He worked on the dock, factory, and worked for himself to feed his family. My mom, my aunt, uncles. And one day, that my grandparents had a garden. My grandmother had flowers. They grew food also. He took me outside, and he took some seeds. He planted some seeds. He watered it. He said, all right, that's it. The first water is fine. Because he told me, the morning dew is going to do some watering. He said that it's supposed to rain the next couple of days off and on. So, you know, worry about it. He said, I'm going to come back out here. I'm going to show you something. And we went back out after like 3 or 4 days. And, you know, this is a sign my grandfather was up there. He said, go get your magnifier. And I was like, what? And he said, your magnifier, the little magnifier that they give you at school. And I was like, oh.
Shout out to grandpa. Shout out to you, feel that?
Yeah, thanks. And I was like, okay. And he said, come on over here. And we got down, and we looked, and we saw the little sprout. And you saw one little leaf at the bottom, one little leaf at the top, and then one sticking up at the top. And he said, now you see how different that is? And he said, what you mean? And he said, you see how the leaves are different? You see how the root is light at the bottom and dark at the top? And he said, that's what it's like when you're taking care of things on your own. He said, it's always going to come out different. But he said, you got to still keep growing. And I was like, and he said, so when I work and I build patios and I do yard work, and then he's like, it's a time where I'm not doing it. He said, that's the difference. He said, it's being different. He's like, it's a different leaf. He said, that don't mean I'm not still growing. And then it was one summer. It was like 2 summers later when he had me like, this when he first let me push the lawnmower. Now I'm big enough now to push the lawnmower, so I'm excited. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, come on, let me take it. He's like, you gonna take it? And he's like, I want you to mow this lawn. And I'm like, the whole thing? He said, yeah. And I was like, you know, I'm thinking he's just gonna let me just push it one good time, and then I'm cool. I'm going back over there doing the shears. And he was like, no, you know, okay. And I was like, okay. So I'm pushing it. And I just mimicked what I saw him do. Sweat, turning around, sweat in my eye, you know, turning around, you know. Came out, the lady came out, TC, your grandson cut my grass. He's like, yeah. He's like, I gave him a shot at it, you know. She was like, and he said, how'd he do? She said, come here, young man. I went up there. She said, here. Something in my hand. She said, here, hold on. And she said, here, drink this. Gave me a mason jar, lemonade or whatever. I was like, thank you. And I looked at him because, hey, I know I'm supposed to be working. Can I drink? Do I got time to drink this? Or should she put, you know, he's like, I was drinking everything, $20. 9 years old. That was like gold.
I mean, for sure. Yeah.
And then he told me later in the truck, we riding back in the truck, he said, now you see how different things are now? He said, you once was that little sprout coming out of it. And he said, you had a leaf wanting to do this, but it wasn't time yet. He said, you had a leaf up here wanting to do this, it wasn't time yet. He said, but you was still growing. And he said, now, he said, so guess what? He said, tomorrow, he's like, we got another yard to cut. And he's like, I got a patio to build while you cutting. He said, so you see how, he said, that's how it is. And I said, I asked him, man, is this harder than going to the boat in the dock like you used to tell me in the factory? He said sometimes. But he said the difference is He said, I control how hard it is. He said, and I control how the time it is. He said, so he said at 2 o'clock, he said at 2 o'clock, 2:30 every day, we done. He said, when I was working those places, he said, I'm working to the next day. He's like, I'm coming home and just getting food and going right back.
Yeah.
And he said, man, I'm dealing with people calling me out of my name. I'm dealing with people cutting my job, and I'm dealing with this and that. Yeah. He said, I don't have to deal with that. He said, I don't have to deal with that now.
Man, that's different. Yeah, nah, you killed that one. Y'all give it up to Kane. The stories make everything. They affirm a lot, you know.
My grandfather, he did that work, landscaping and building patios in neighborhoods until he literally couldn't do it no more. His knees just couldn't take getting down there and paving and stuff like that.
But for sure. I seen that. I was like, shout out to Brother Rome. He came through. My old man was getting some concrete laid down. He brought a friend. Him and his friend ain't know what the hell they was doing. So we got the front barely done, the side of the house barely done. Brother Rome came through, and then we was basically towards the backyard. Man, this OG, he came back, and you know, he was suffering the same way. Bro, he came back, you know, Man, that's the only smooth part still to this day.
Exactly,
bro. I'm like, and that's why, you know, you gotta if you're going to do something in the realm of entrepreneur, you gotta have somebody ahead of you that done did it. You know, and that's something that when people are getting into the field, you know, they have this want to do something, and the want is great. However, your grandfather said, practice patience with that want. It's going to take a little bit. You're going to get to do your 9 to 5 and that at the same time for a while before that thing take off. If you're doing it in a traditional, this is mine, only mine sort of way. I'll get back to that point in a little bit. But I want to build what you just talked about. You talked about a couple things. One of the demos you talked about was straight up time freedom. That's what the granddaddy was talking about.
Yeah.
He was talking about time freedom. He was talking about being in control of your time. Then he also, which on the Kanye and on the 9 to 5 is you have no control. Yeah. You can earn your way to having some leveragability.
But you still got more work.
But that ain't control.
Yeah.
But shout out to you, you know, if you have formed leveragability. Hey, baby. She don't mind. I see you, boo boo. And she one of the ones, as I start talking about this, because she doing this at the same time right now, juggling. She on her platform, like, over here. She's on the 9 to 5, like, bop. You know, saving lives on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, real. Like, they can't do nothing without her. They'll be twisted. However, you also talked about growing. And I'll put down what you, on the entrepreneur end, what you grow is yours. On the 9 to 5 end, what you grow is theirs.
Yeah.
Now, this is getting into some stuff that you can't shake. Because we started off with some similarities of the two. Now, and I love the way the Lord works. Oh my goodness. We getting into ain't no similarities here.
Right.
There's some hardcore differences. You understand?
The line right here.
It's the straight up line right here. So on the story end, my aunt, spiritual aunt, she know me before I even knew myself in the flesh. She passed. I'm doing my Uber thing, blah. You know how granddaddy said we done by 2. Shit, I be done by 10. Right. Done by 10. Niggas just like getting up, getting started, bro. I be like, done, bro. But so I'm down rapping. That was about 9 o'clock. I'm like, all right, it's time to make my loving calls. I call my pops, call my mom. My mom tell me like, no, I didn't call pops. I called mom first that day. Mom say, well, you know, we going to your aunt's funeral today. And I'm like, dang, like y'all told me like a week ago or something like that. But I didn't know it was like today, you know. And mom's like, so I probably said, oh my goodness, you know, pops called me right after that. And I'm letting them know it's all good. You know, things happen. You know, I'm the baby of the bunch, so typically the baby always the last one to find out anyway. You know, shout out to all the babies of the bunches. I understand y'all pain. You know what I mean? I get y'all stuff, and they think we just So it's just so easy for us, you know. We carry a load that they'll never understand. Just like we don't understand theirs, they don't understand ours. We can tell them, but they don't do it until they walk it. That's the reason why I work with my old man. I had to see that shit. I had to see it. I had to be up in there, and it just grew my respect for him. However, Pops called me. Oh, son, now I ain't tell him like, and this is the reason why I make my own stuff, y'all, because I'm gonna be there. All I did was call. Next thing I know, I called them. They was like, hey, my mom was like, hey, you all good? I'm like, yeah, I'm outside. Where y'all at? You know what I mean? Went home, did my double shower, put on some, you know, some churchy church clothes. You know what I'm saying? And just pulled up. You know, and I ain't missed nothing. When you know, when 9 to 5 was talking about, you know, missing money, or you know how my wife, I be having to pay baby girl for a day. Like, you know, when she run out of the paid time off, I be like, I pay you. What is you talking about? What was you gonna make today? What was you gonna make today? What was you gonna make today? Like, be for real. Like, you did one day, you just gonna make a what? You know. So, but that's what they focus on. They did what do they call that? PTO. PTO. And acting like it's like the end of the world if you don't get one PTO or a week of PT, whatever, you know. But that power move showed me what you're doing is right. What you're doing is even righteous. Bro, you remember that Taxi Cab Professions? Yeah. Bro, that shit real. Yeah. Folk get in and whip like, they hit the button like, I need help. I need help. Bro, they be popping out the whip like, man, I'm so energized, man. I thank you so much for the call. You know, they hit a brother off with a tip, you know. On low key, the Mexicans, bro, they be hitting me off with like paper, bro. Like, you know, some people put the tip in the app and stuff like majority, but the Mexicans, bro, they be coming up out the wallet like, man, take this 20. You done did something for me, you know.
My job's been therapy. Like, all these years, you know. I used to mentor to other trainers, like, don't forget the personal aspect. I know once people get that hour with me, you know, when I worked at LA Fitness, I started training it. I was training before that, you know, just here and there, but like, when I actually had a job, I realized two things. I can't forget the personal aspect, and there was only going to be a cap on my money. I worked every hour and day that I could ever work, just to prove it. Me and 3 other trainers. Because one guy walked up and told me, dude, you need to work for yourself. My client kept telling me, you need to work for yourself. All right. So I worked every day. I worked 7 days a week, all the hours. All the hours. I did it for a month. I was like, dang, I can't make no more money than this. There's no more hours to work to make more money. So that means that, like, I killed myself. Yeah. Took no breaks. Yeah. People always wanted to get in my schedule. I made it where I could have no breaks. I'm carrying around sandwiches and shakes in my pocket.
Yeah, man.
So I proved the theory that it was a cap. I couldn't. There was nothing else I can do. Right. Even if I went into sales, sales is going to take away from everything that I just did because it's going to take time. I got to walk around and talk to people. And that ain't me. Okay.
So it's not more money. You substitute it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a hope and whim that somebody can sign. You know, whereas I just killed myself for a month just to prove the theory that there's no more money anymore. The check is gonna always be this. If I work like this for a year, the check gonna always be this. I can't make no more. I can make less. But I can't make no more. So then I was like, okay. One of my clients told me, work for yourself. My husband is the best negotiator in the world.
Come on.
I'm gonna bring him in. If he don't get you work for yourself, then you hope it's off.
Shout out to him. Thank you. Thank you.
And it was with a couple of other clients' venting sessions, and them finding out that I'm killing myself. And for this brief time with this young man, I'm able to at least get it out, and then understand that even if I gotta go back, I need to recharge. So that was my main thing with the business, is making sure the personal aspect. So That's why when I worked at a previous place where me and you used to work out at, I would never go at people about money. It's like, I know what's going on in your life, so I can't do that. I know you're a single mom, so I can't do that. I know your husband in the hospital, so I can't do that. So I keep that human thing, but that human gift and blessing has carried me 20 years, 20 plus years, and also given me freedom in a way. You know, it's like you said, I told my mom one time here recently, I said, you know, Mom, I said, man, y'all called me like, you know, like
you already know.
Y'all call me like I'm walking around with the uniform on the clothes, like,
that's what I say.
It's like, I say now, if I worked a job, y'all know y'all couldn't call me like that.
I say that all the time. I formulated this so much now, I tell everybody, I just be like, hit the back signal. I mean, call my phone, but I mean, like, hit the back signal, because you're right, bro.
Yeah.
Like, when foodies know, they know.
Yeah.
And they be like, what you doing?
Mom's hit me
What
like,
you doing?
Mom's hit me like, where you at, honey? You know, I'm like, oh, I'm like in the neighborhood, you know. I'm 10 minutes from everybody I love, so it's like,
love that.
you know, so.
Intentionality.
Yeah, she's like, can you bring me my vitamins? I left my supplements at home today. All right, Mom. You know, my baby called. My baby called. Hi, what's doing? Me and Gerald, you know, just finishing up, you know. I need you to go take Janiyah this and that. I need you to run to the job for me.
So it's well, bro. But that's time, you just spoke into it, and I love that. That's time freedom versus having your time locked in.
Yeah.
You know, so we also get to look at it and be like, as I'm selling my time, I'm getting something for these people, but yet it's still, I can't give to these people this thing that they actually are needing, you know, at the time what they're needing. However, once again, we go to the lightness inside of both modalities and go, they tap into their network.
Yeah.
So it's real powerful for an entrepreneur to have a 9-to-5er and ask for a loan. It's real powerful for a 9-to-5er who's at the gig to have an entrepreneur to tap into to say, I need to leverage your time free. Do you have the time to blah, blah, blah? Right there is a fair exchange. Even Steve's. And we, as we continue to grow and develop and understand that everything on the table is needed, we just need to find the right place for it, set it in the right place. So like Granny had y'all, put the piece in the right place of the puzzle, you know what I mean, and keep it moving. But we've been going on for so long trying to fit that round peg into that triangle. You know what I mean? If it was a certain size, it would work, but they all the same diameter, so it ain't gonna work. You know, you gotta find the right space for the right ones.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate that if you do have like a 9-to-5, and we'll say 6 to 12 or whatever those, you know, the jobs that you may be locked into, that you would have to, for 1 second, have a thought that if somebody that loved your loved ones called and needed you, that you had to really think, that's horrible. That's horrible, and that's the real big line that we talking about, is that, like, you gotta think, do I have time? It's like, no, you know. And so it's just like with us doing our power of the hour. You know, if he called me this morning and said, man, Desi not feeling good, bro, see you next week, bro. Hope she all right. She all right? You need me to come. Good. Yeah. You know, same thing. You know, my baby had a surgery. His baby had a surgery. We both, like, yeah, bro, we pick up. You know, we got to take care of our girls. You know, that's it. Ain't no questions asked. You know, I'm not going to go into somebody's office and say, my wife is, heck no, I got to go.
Yeah.
I got to go.
And that right there, what I want to share with you, there's a big difference. And we slide into the differences. I love this. On that freedom end is that subservient nature, that undermining thing. You know, some of these bosses are ill. They sick.
Yeah.
And honestly, from the energetic and spiritual experience, they get picked just to run havoc on the person's life. Because you'll know, because especially the females, as they continue to enter this job force in a whole different way. She gonna come home and God body gonna need to be her whole therapist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fellas, we like, well, I don't know about my generation. I never had to deal with it. But my old man's generation was, you know, just a step ahead, right? You know, I didn't really hear him come home and talk about his day like that.
No.
You know, I know he could have with the wife that he had. However, I leveraged a lot of other people's experience and say, you know, fellas just want to find peace in that. Ladies are so good and so great with distributing that, you know, in so many different ways, you know. And no need to talk about it. They you know what it is. However, with the ladies doing it, it's topsy-turvy where it goes. Now we're getting the opportunity to tap into this leadership. You know, let's see, once again, you don't get leadership training from the 9 to 5.
No.
But you gonna get leadership training from the entrepreneur. You will get. If you don't get it, you ain't doing it right. Because it precedes them. It go before the money.
Yeah.
Don't be deceived, because sometimes mammon pop up just to show you possibilities, and then pop out to show you still got to work on.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show you that you was in the right vicinity. But don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now go ahead, please.
Yeah, and you have to see when you working for yourself, you have to learn how to tap into every form of potential that you have. So even me, you know, I've mastered that art of pivoting.
Ooh, that's a word.
That's a word. Yeah, and I can honestly sit here and say I've mastered that art of pivoting.
Come on.
Because I know that when one thing falls short, this is how my mind works.
Go ahead.
And this is me being very vulnerable. So my mind works that I have this main soldier that's running. He falls. My next thought is that soldier that's going to pick him up and keep pulling him along.
Come on.
And it's like, he got to rebuild, but we got to get him to where he got to get to where he can rebuild. So while he's rebuilding, this other soldier over here gets him to safety and security. Okay, now, I know I got energy into this other soldier right here. This soldier right here is like, man, I gotta go on. I gotta go on. I gotta
complete the mission.
I gotta complete the job.
Let's get it.
So let's go. I'll be back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But while he gone, this one over here, like, man, I gotta mend my knee.
Yeah.
I gotta fix my shoulder.
Yeah.
I gotta. All right. So when the next opportunity come, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And you keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
So we on the same mission, which is building whatever goal it is, even if it's a different stream of income. That's why I love the young generation. The young generation has mastered that. Man, I put on the gloves, so each finger doing something different. You know, I'm not about to do what y'all did and work somewhere 30, 40, 50 years and then still end up with nothing. You know, and it's like, that's leadership. What I just described was leadership. I got to know how to control what I'm doing at all times. You know, and I can't worry when that soldier falls because I know that I got to keep going. Because worry is going to stop both of us. And now everything fails. And you can't work. You can't work from here.
No.
So we got to keep it moving. You know, and you just learn how to do everything. And it's like, even when I had like 9 to 5s, I always got excelled. I always got moved to leadership positions.
Come on, bro. They see it.
19 years old. 18 years old. I was
exchange your time.
Right. 18 years old. I was head legal assistant. You know, it's like you know, and money I never knew about. I didn't even understand the money I was making. It was like that, but I made it smarter before I left for other people, so they wouldn't have to work so hard and get no benefit. You know, when I worked at the steel mill, I excelled. When I worked at this company, I excelled. When I worked here, I had a lot of jobs, but I still was doing what I was doing on the outside that I know would make a better benefit. And I'm one of them people that you put, if I was a janitor, I'm helping somebody. I'm pushing the broom by the office. You know, so
that on that Goodwill Hunting. Around that boy, like, boy, what they done did.
And so that's why a lot of work I've had, I walk away with the benefit of human friendship.
Come on, bro.
Or human assistance, because that's what I, look for. You know, it's like I've always been that kind of guy. You know, I may not even know this girl or this guy, but if I hear that your mom died, it's like, yo, man, I'm sorry. You know, I may even, if I had time, go, you know, to the funeral on my lunch break or something. You know, it's like I just I gotta, man, that's just one.
Nah, man, I love it. Like, I love that when you spoke into that vulnerability of your mindset, your mental isms, the pictures that you project when you are going through, when you are, you know, fighting for your life. You know what I mean? When you're fighting for your life, and it's a beautiful thing. It's like you were saying, like when the guy that is head, you know, falls before that support comes, before hero support comes, you know. That's like your grandfather shared with you when he was like that resting character. You know, that it is like he was basically saying it's a time for everything. Yeah. You know, and when you rest, when you need that character to get rest, give that character some rest. But that's what's so cold-blooded about these vessels. Like you pointed out, we have different characters that can come up. You're like, all right, I'm gonna keep going. You go ahead and stay there. If it can happen in real life, if my wife is sick and she needs something to get done, or she is doing something at the 9 to 5 and she needs something to get done, I know that's my thing. That's what I'm majoring in. Who said pivot? Who said pivot? Right. Somebody said pivot. No, I'm a pivoting guy. You know, and that's that thing that happens when you are casting yourself into, as my wife would put it, the adventure of entrepreneurism. Just like we know how to tackle. And line it up and get it done. And just like you say, you ran into young Mark when he was on the hustle. That's an adventure, bro. Don't nobody adventure and get a kick out of life. And I promise you, God just be smiling on entrepreneurs. I'm telling you, I know my Lord loves, you know, everyone. However, that right there, I know is being dear to the heart of the parent, God parent. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, they hit the. I mean, what did Jesus or Yahshua or whoever, whatever? What did he was in the street going to find some adventure? It was an adventure every day. It was. I don't know how it's gonna come, but I know I'm gonna run smack into it every single time, and it never fails. Now let's
right here where we sit. Right here where we sit. I do classes, right?
Yeah.
I just told my baby, I said, hey, I know, you know, people got responsibilities, got bills, all that stuff, but I said, that old lady walking up to me saying that she loved my class and that she appreciated it. And then she brought a friend and they like, and all I did was help her. It helped her get through the class.
Yeah.
But nothing, mate. I've been doing it forever. You know, same way I help you.
That major to you is huge to somebody else.
She's just like, you know, thank you. I said, man, that does me. It's like I got $1 million.
That is.
Like,
I mean, that is. I mean, honestly, and I talk to my pops time and time again about like reining in this far off spirituality to bring it into the reality that we understand here, because we need to. We need the capture of heaven before leaving. We need to get before we leave. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you get it here, you got it there. Yeah. And if you don't hear, you misunderstand it there. What like how you just built. If Saint, shout out to Sinatra, shout out Brody. What up, bro? Never said like, bro, I'm gonna challenge you. I need you to do this, cause life, longevity, boom. And then I love him so because he was one that didn't just challenge and then didn't get that tool. Yeah. You know, some are challenged, but they don't tool you up. I'm like, he challenged me and tooled me up. I'm the wrong one to challenge and tool up. Don't tool me up and challenge me. It's done. And so boom, you know, and from that point, you know what I'm saying, it was like first time I hit the lab, and it was just a test run. And it wasn't even you was just standing to the side. I was just messing around with was it Mark? Mark. I was just messing around with Mark. When I threw up, I was like, this is where I need to be. under 10 minutes of messing around, I was in the building for like 30 minutes whole. 10 minutes of messing around, bro. I was like, this it right here. When wifey came in and said, he tried to kill me. I was like, maybe this is it. Like, this is what we supposed to be doing. Yeah. But that is true. Like you storing up them riches. You storing up them riches. Like everybody who in the pocket thing right now, bro, they gonna be so short soon. They gonna be so short soon. And then this money thing is changing, bro. It's like we're entering a place and a time where money is nothing. Yeah. Money is nothing. Yeah. So what is it? Yeah, if I can't fold it and put it in my pocket, if it ain't a gold piece or a silver piece, it's just something that I'm told that is somewhere.
Yeah, I'm getting chills because I realized after COVID that's what God was showing us of what
don't be scared.
What we spiritually own. He's like, he showed us this is what. Think about it. You were married with someone, or you've been with someone, or you worked here. You did all of this just to end up with not having it for a long period of time. So what do you own? You only own you. And God owns that. And then everything else is who you are. So it's like it's like what God did was pull back the curtain. It was like, all right, I'm showing y'all the wizardry.
Yep.
So now what? You ain't, who are you without your car?
Come on.
Who are you without your house? Without your mortgage?
Come on.
Okay, who are you without your job now?
Come on.
Are you a good person?
Come on.
Have you been treating people right?
Come on.
Have you been pouring into life
what
life should be pouring back into you?
Yeah.
And then you look around and it's like, who's this person I've been with?
Come on.
You know, who am I?
Come on.
You know, it's like
A lot of that.
And I'm telling you,
A lot of that.
this is a big line that's drawn when it comes to both of these positions.
Go ahead.
I had 2 clients. One was in the legal world. One was in law enforcement. I trained both of them. I started out training one, helped him excel to a SWAT team, helped him excel to being the sheriff. So he was so impressed, his wife was impressed, started working with the wife. We left the gym that we were working at, started working with them by their home. I said, man, what time y'all get up? Like 6. Kids got to be at school like 8. Okay. Both of y'all up at that time, moving around. One of y'all, they may be, either half an hour behind each other, or hour behind each other, either way. Day goes by. Hubby get off at,
Shout out Bernadette on.
oh, what up, Steve? Hubby get off at 5:30.
Oh, Markane, your fan. What up, Black?
What up, Mark? Hubby get off at like 5:30. Wife get off at 6. She gets to hustle home, get dressed, meet me at the park so we can work out by 6:30. Which that's if traffic is permitted. Hubby done got the kids, or grandmama done got the kids. Kids got something going on after school, so they get home by 7. No, they get home by like 6:30. So they coming in, mama coming in. They got to eat with McDonald's, whatever. If nobody prepared to cook, ain't prepared to cook because he just got off. She got off, but she comes to work out with me. Okay, so now, I trained her at 6:30. We done training at 7:30. She go home. Kids got to be in bed by 8 to get back up in the morning. So when did mama see the kids? She worked all day.
What you was just talking about, I'm a child of that, bro. Most are, they grew up in that.
Yeah, I was a single parent, latchkey kid. Come in the house with my own key. Make my own food. Mom got to be at work at 7, so she gone when I wake up. It's like come home. It's like Mama get home if she wasn't taking her college classes at that time. She go to bed. It's like, so when is the okay? Got the weekend, but probably mom may not have to work the weekend, but dad might have to because he's in law enforcement. He get off a little early. Mom and dad got to be tired from that hustle and bustle throughout the week, but then the kids got practice Saturday morning, so that take up most of that. Somebody got to get them there. Dad come home, then we almost at a mid-afternoon day. It'll be Saturday. Saturday is ending soon. Kids are accustomed to going to bed at maybe an hour, half an hour later. during the weekend. So then, but if we got spiritual practice and we got to get up in the morning to do that, and then Sunday gets hustled up into like 4 or 5 o'clock, and before you know it's time to go big and all over again.
All over.
So when are we loving and when are we
listening?
You know,
Debriefing.
I didn't know this happened at school.
Yes,
you know, and I didn't know that. You know, honey, I didn't know this happened at the job.
Yes,
They talking about promotion when did this happen?
Right.
About 2 weeks ago, I just forgot to tell you. You know, it's like
that. And then let me share with you, because I mean, I came from a four-party squad that was just like that. And I became angry, resentful, you know. I mean, then at the same time looking at the world the way the artist can look at the world. So I was big, but it wasn't like, limit, stop, you big. Because then it would just, I'd have been, you know, the typical, you big, you like sports, you look at sports, you're a guy, stuff like that. But I always broke limits, you know. And it was like, man, I'm looking at off the court, off the field. Who is these fools? Who is this coach? Who is this?
Right.
You know, and I'm seeing the immaturity, and then that pissed me off, and then I ain't really got nobody at the tip to talk to about it, and then that pissed me off, and then by the time OG home, she tired, she used to sit at the table, bro. You should see these damn papers stacked like just everywhere on the table. Still to this day, even though she 18 years into retirement, bro, she still got her seat at the table in the same spot where she used to be. And still got certain papers and things of that nature, but then it just used to be piles of paper. And she now used to put me on like, damn, you tending to these children more than the God. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was in high school. Like, elementary, it was like, all right, shit, they my age. I'm just raw. I got shit. This is my cousin. That's my cousin. This is my cousin. This is my cousin. It was cool, but then once I got older than them, it was like, you know, it wasn't really a relatable thing, situation, sort of, you know. But it was cool on their end when it was like, you know, I got somebody to look up to, you know, because I still have a great heart. I still want to, you know, do what I do, regardless of how my lifestyle, you know, at home is necessarily, but that has a lot to do with growing bad communication as well. All that purpose and intent to increase what you have, potentially tearing down what you have, because you're putting the money ahead of it. And low key, you're not testing God by saying, all right, provide then. Nah, I'm not finna do this now, because I want to feed. I want to feed the right way into these children, not just this money way. Oh, Merry Christmas as BS. You know what I'm saying?
That's why the younger generation spiritually are where they at, because nobody poured into their heart. Nobody poured into their heart.
That's big.
I went through all that anger, all that in my younger years, all that.
Yeah, bro, that shit hurt me, bro.
And then it's like you think of it now. If parents they got caught up in that, and you leaving them out to this world, our world was a little different.
I mean, we was in the Piscean era.
Our world was a little different, because you know you put on the headphones and you hear Tupac say, "Don't do this, don't do that," you know, and it's like you turning them out to this world. You're not pouring into the hearts of these kids, and it's like so you end up with kids that get defined with mental problems that may not have them. You get out with kids, you turn out with kids that get broken in the books of these and that, and they not really have that because somebody didn't pay attention when they were like 10 years ago. And so, and those are the things that we gotta talk about and be, you know, vulnerable about if we're gonna help other generations get further. You just have to, and it's like, and our parents, they gotta deal with that. I got kids, I gotta deal with that. I gotta deal with my kids saying, you know, thinking and assuming this and saying that, you know, but I also got the benefit and the beauty of bringing my kids to benchmark. I also got the beauty of having my kids be next to me while I'm doing what I'm doing, or watching me do what I'm doing, and saying, "Dad, I love that, but I don't want to do that."
Right.
They get to see that. You know, I have a son today that says he don't know how not to get up and do because he's seen me and his mama. You know, I got kids that know that I want to do this, Dad. I mean, I got to work my job, but I want to do a clothing thing too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so can you help me? Okay, yeah. You know, I got the, you know, I seen the benefit, man. You know, and so not that my kid seeing me being a cop may not have been beneficial to him, but he sees that, man, my dad got up at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, doing his own thing, you know, still made back home by 12, take him to the park. Shoot. You know, on weekends. You know, we at the movies right now, you know, on spring break, while most dads is out, you know, doing what, you know.
Yeah, they stuck into the regular.
Not knocking, but I'm just saying, you know, it's like,
I got. I say, if anything, it's a heads up.
Yeah, I got them moments, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, and
It's real.
Yeah.
My old man talked to me today, and even though I love it though, because this the entrepreneur thing, dude. He be trying to shit on this stuff, bro.
oh no,
I be like, look, man. You can't do that, bro.
Yeah.
Like you gotta. As I let them stories go, you gotta let them stories go. Because I ain't gonna let him come back up. I ain't gonna let me say it right. I ain't gonna let it come back up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta dead in that, because it quickened me when I let it go.
Right.
And then as he talks about it, I'm like, bro, do you know how dusty, dirty, slow, you know how heavy that is? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, you like, no. Like, I needed you not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So then my win was my win.
Right.
I couldn't say I'm second generation. You understand me?
Right.
I'm first.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm the second coming,
Right.
I'm first generation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm carving out, and this is why I wanted to go with it. I'm carving out this entrepreneur thing in ways most entrepreneurs necessarily don't do, which is in a haven of entrepreneurs inside of this, what some call MLM, direct selling, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it, right? Because once again, you don't want to venture into something where you are the only one venturing and you have no sensei, you have no lead, you have no, you know, you need that in the physical. I understand all the spiritual and the faith and all that sort of stuff. But see, it's this thing that the angels got. It's called knowledge. Like, I know, I ain't hoping, I ain't guessing, I ain't thinking, I ain't faithing. I mean, I'm praying, but I'm praying because I know.
Yeah.
I ain't praying because I hope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, it has its benefit in a certain stance in growth. Because you need it when you just start.
Yeah.
But after a while, bro, we experience so much stuff, bro. You know, it's undeniable. Like, all the godly parents is here, baby.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need, I'm the last one you want to mess with. I'm the last one you want to mess with. You best do very well by me, because you know I'm going to do well by you, and that's the law. So you don't want to repost something by reposting me. It's not good. It's gonna catch. The worst thing is when it don't show up early and it just log out, then it just smack you out. You know, because we be around you. I know the Lord done showed you people who meant you harm, and then they showed you exactly when they took them down.
Yeah.
And how savage it was.
Yeah.
And we got the heart and the audacity to be like,
Oh shit! Right.
Why
And it's like, and I always say, God, you really got me, because it's like, it'd be like for this little bunch right here, I'd be like, you'd be like, ooh, but then the rest of me be like,
character.
the rest of me be like,
And that's why, you know, ones deserve that royal like treatment. You know, however, getting on the point, because we just really took care of, and I mean, I wrote a whole list, bro. Without looking at the list, we knocked these things out. Relationship, which you brought it up as the personal aspect, right? Self-development, time freedom, support. That's something we didn't talk about. Support and acknowledgement. And the difference on those two. I would like to get into those as we wrap up.
Okay.
The difference between support, if there is a difference, the difference between support, Mark said, my dogs. What up, brother? The difference between support on the 9-to-5 and support in the entrepreneur space and then the acknowledgement in the 9 to 5, and the acknowledgement in the 9 to 5 space. Let's build on those.
All right, let me take support from. I'll start with the 9 to 5. Now, people that love and care about you will support you working. You know, they try to support you mentally. They try to support you physically. And that's just because at the end of the day, they want you to succeed in existence as far as humanly.
Come on.
They want you to have something. They want you to be able to take care of yourself, pay your bills, you know, provide, and you know, enjoy a little bit of life. But they don't want anybody harming you at your job. They don't want you feeling downtrodden. You know, they'll get upset and they'll pray for you know the people that are in your space that give you problems to you know stop or be gone or whatever. It's good. You know, support from the entrepreneurial side. Man, Gerald, man, I was just thinking about you, man. I'm doing an event, man. I think it'll be a good fit for you. All right. Well, tell me more about it. Well, man, you know, we have a group of guys come together, man, and we just want them to see somebody positive. Yo, Markane, I ran into this guy at the store, and he really liked my shirt. And I was just telling him about you. And this guy said, man, that he got like a program, him and his wife do this, to this. They got a restaurant, and they was wondering if they could, you know, get you to make some shirts with their restaurant name on that they say fight for your life.
Come on. So you better. I mean, that's our relationship. That shit's based on that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it. And it's not like we base it on like, oh, you better. It was that God, agape love, spirit that takes over when you doing your actual ministry and you are in for it. You know, regardless of how people see it, cool. They need to see. They praise Jesus to this day, but low key, if that cat was out today, they be dragging that fool.
Right.
They be, man, he on that. Man, he on that. That ain't even his man. You know what I mean?
But no, that's
let me go ahead and stay on topic. Because what you said was the difference, and I'm gonna sum it up to something that we brought up earlier, or that was brought out earlier. Let me say it correctly. You said the difference between the 9 to 5 support and the entrepreneur support, once again, is one support grows theirs, and the other support grows the ministry. Now that's hard. That's hard. Now I'm gonna put it like this.
How many times have you called me and told me, yo, Payne, I got a guy, man, and then you know him, or I got a sister, blah blah blah, you know, trying to lose some weight or whatever. Even if I don't physically link up with mine and talk to him.
Most of them. Oh yeah, advisory. Sometimes on how they eat and what they eating. You know, because I don't want to. And this is just this thing about drugs to express to everybody. Come in being you. I don't want to come in and be everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I could. However, no. I want to know everybody. That's the difference. I want to pick up that phone and be able to get and leverage that stuff. Because if I know it all, how much time am I not going to get?
Right.
Now, if I know everybody, then that's boo, 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 boo. Hello. But
shout out to my father-in-law. That's what my father-in-law is. He will call that leverage call.
Hey, shout out, Pastor. You know he will. I mean, regardless if the fool who he putting you on with follow through, he gonna put you on. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't drink, that's cool. But Pastor will take you to the water.
Yeah.
He'll take you to the water. Okay, if you want to drink, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, father-in-law got phone. Hey, my son-in-law, he feeding homeless people, man. What can you do to help him? You know? And then I said, well, Dad, you know, he told me I had to go through like some red tape, whatever. Man, the hell with him then. You know? So it's like, I mean, but that's how we build business.
Yeah, man.
You could hit me up, yo, Payne, we doing blah, 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 man. Can you come through and speak?
Yeah.
Hit your G, we doing blah, blah, blah. Can you come to the camp? We doing blah, you know, so.
Yes, sir.
Man,
yep. But now check it out. We still on support. I'm gonna get my 2 cents real fast, but I know we coming up on this hour. We got to be. All right. So support. The difference between it is 2 words. I say the 9 to 5 does help. They don't do support. They don't need support. They need help.
Mm.
And it's a huge difference between the two. I suggest y'all, let that sink into your spirit. You can even pop up, open a different dictionary and do your own due diligence on those two different words. Because over here in the entrepreneur, it's about support. It's about support. It's something that says, oh no, you best to be on this level of not sitting on your hands. You understand me? And as you are, you will attract what you need in this time. Over here saying help, that's saying, oh, and you spoke about firefighter, running in the fire, stuff like that. Check it out. Do the people who are in the fire are under something and they scream out, fire department, call for support? No, they say fire department, call out for help, man.
Yeah.
You need some help because you don't got those skill sets.
Right.
You don't know what to do. You don't know how to do it. And this is gonna be after they help you, it's over. If you're in another fire, hopefully you've learned something. Then you can support yourself. But until you up in that joint and learn something, you need some help. You need some help. And then typically, like I say, when people get in that thing, it's not registering, they're not doing too much, and it's just once it's over, it's over. And I'm gonna put it like this: like fools like myself, I don't play with guns. I don't have no guns. Don't even ask me about it. I don't need it. I done seen niggas trip on their own and bust themselves before they try to come get me. This is just my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm severely secured. Like, you don't even gotta see it. Don't even worry about it. But you're gonna trip if you come for it. Now, some people that are in certain positions and they've been around them before, they're used to them. If they've seen a body drop, a dead body, stinky body, old dead body, they are used to these things. And typically these things can come up from time to time again where we use that as to stand on the character that we have. Some might call it being brave or whatever. You stop something from happening, but you're like, well, shit, if it wasn't for the time where I didn't understand, and that thing happened and it was way bigger than me, and it was way more intimidating, but this time it's like round two. Like, you giving me a second opportunity to do something for the first time again, and we get to show and prove. And that's that difference between help and support. Help is like, I'm not really growing, I'm just getting pulled out of this fire. And support is saying, I have the aptitude, the attitude, and the ability to get myself out of this fire, and I have a network that will support me in completing this mission. Just like the goal you told me this morning before we started, you was like, bro, go. I was like, bro, holler back. But but you're not saying, oh my God, end the world. I don't know. I can't. You didn't come with those sorts of energy. You came with the, oh, bro, this is what I'm finna do, this is where we at. But you actually came joyful about it. Yeah. You was like, oh, bro, we did it. All I gotta do is hit. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't say less. That's support. Yeah. That's support. Now, what my cousins did for me back in the day and then I was like, in the worst state of my life, the fattest I was, or let me say it right, the most inflamed I was, the most mucus and buildup and plaque that was in me and all that sort of stuff. And that equaled where I wasn't, financially, because both of those wasn't places. And they was just like, we'll help you. But if it wasn't for my cousin, once again, it's always about early. It's always about throwing up. What is it about throwing up? I don't know. It might just be me, I won't say it's a purification, though.
I just told him last night when I took the new class that I never took. I said, the goal is to make yourself throw up.
Come on, thank you, bro. See, you validate. My big cousin Jerome, he was head over the physical part of us getting together. We did some spiritual stuff, we one-on-one relationships, but he did the physical stuff. So, he brought out big ropes like that, you know what I'm saying? We helping, but the way he started was to get that lymphatic system. He was like, we're gonna run. Boom! Like out the blue, he just took off, And bro, by the time we came back, bro, I was like, I'm about to throw up. But that was like, that part to me was help in a way where I'm learning the lesson, so then therefore later on I can look at it and say they supported me to that level.
Yeah.
Cuz did that to me right before I met you. So when I threw up with messing around with Mark, bro, I was like, this is what I need to be.
This is what I'm supposed to
This
be.
is it right here. So that long story short, that's the difference between support in the 9-to-5 and the entrepreneur realm. Now the last thing I want to talk about, where we at? Where we at? Has been an hour, bro?
Yeah, you good, but
Okay,
that's interesting because if you think about it, yeah, support at your job is like it only helps you get through that instant time.
Yeah,
man, that momentary time.
Yeah.
But like when someone calls you to support you, it's like they support you.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like
my men, like they supporting the ministry. You know what I mean? Oh, for sure. It's a clear difference. You know, once again, it just comes down to you're exchanging time for someone else's dreams, for someone else's things, for someone else. And all you get to do is just take the money. Whatever you do with the money is whatever you do with the money. And that's it. And that's literally where it stops. Hopefully the person has the wherewithal to understand how to invest physically, spiritually, mentally. Now the one is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement difference is 9-to-5 entrepreneur. Well, I start off. You go ahead. Now the difference to me is acknowledgement versus plaques. Plaques, they sit, they collect dust. It's a good memory about an old thing, and it's over. Acknowledgements in that 9-to-5 realm are literally made for a momentary thing. That's why they don't say employee of forever. They say employee of the month. And leave it like that. Now, how many times you make it, hey, that's, up to you. Do your thug thistle. I say run for 12 if you really there doing the thug thistle. Like, you really need to go ahead and smash folk. If you're really in the ministry, in the 9-to-5, where you know that you are driven with purpose.
Yeah, some jobs, a lot of jobs will you do that. You just, hey, good job.
If you get that. It's not like I say, the topic ain't not getting acknowledged. It's only acknowledgments. When you get them, period. But however, yeah, bro. Straight up, bro. And then the acknowledgement in the entrepreneur field, the acknowledgement, it really shows it really highlights and shows the continual grind of that self-development. It's something that you get to take home. It's an inner plaque.
Yeah.
It's an inner plaque that you get for your own ministry. You, the Lord, ministry, acknowledged. You have heard, you have been called, you have done that part. You didn't have to. You weren't expected to. And you did.
Yeah.
I'm expected to clock in.
Yeah.
I'm expected at a certain time to pop in that job. So low key, they already know, like, all right, after 1 week, low key, you're gonna be broke anyway. So you're supposed to come back. That's probably why they was trying to jerk me at the last job. Like, nigga, any complaints you have, it really don't matter because you're gonna stick around for the people, the money, or both.
Yeah. And I would say it's an inner plaque, but it's also, would you agree that with being an entrepreneur, you're either doing a product or service that benefits someone inside anyway?
Yeah.
Or makes them feel good.
Yeah.
Even if you do, you could be doing foot rubs and that make a person feel great inside. So
thank you.
So it's like, man, you're pouring into the service of the world.
Yeah.
It's like it's just a different thing. It's like you pouring into the service of the world to where people, when they see that, hey,
yeah. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that.
That's
I like that. Ooh, that's hard. Yeah.
And when you're working a 9-to-5, people give you they give you accolades, but that accolades is kind of somewhat push you into having when you have to do more to receive
for
more
for the same money.
Yeah, accolades, and you know that you may get a little bit of
What up, cuz? I see.
yeah, you may get a little bit of bump here, but it's like you know, at the end of the day, it's just a formality to keep my horse going. I gotta keep my horse going. So it's like, I better say something, because I can probably guess they're feeling
that's hard.
unappreciated.
That's hard. Yeah.
And it's like, and the person that's giving you what they know, because they probably once where you were at feeling unappreciated. So they're like, let me just do this to keep my horse going. Gotta keep my horse going. You know, it's like, up, you're not feeling good, something stuck in your hoof. Let me get that out your hoof. Here, eat an apple. Keep going.
Yeah.
You know, keep going.
Matter of fact, ain't that what dangling the carrot come
Dangling
from?
the carrot come from. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
And you never get that
Yeah,
carrot.
keep going.
Never get that carrot.
You know, but you walk in the street and somebody see you, hey, you know, hey, you know, how you doing? You know, or this is what I love. When you have conversations with people, and the conversation of a workforce person, according to the conversation of an entrepreneur person. Entrepreneurs, we're gonna talk about, you know, we're gonna talk about things being good, and we may tell you, you know, the struggles of things, but it's because we know you understand. You know, but my workforce, yeah, well, it's always gonna start with they. It's always gonna start with they. It ain't never gonna start with I. You know, but when you had that other conversation on the other side, it's like, yeah, man, I just had to change up some things. I gotta do some things different.
Yeah. But you know that claim over blame.
Yeah,
like you gonna hit it in that entrepreneur, you gonna hit it.
But over
like,
here,
you forced to.
Over here, I gotta do what I gotta do to keep their corral going. I gotta
They some wicked folk, boy.
Yeah. But so choose what path you want your blessings.
For sure. Just simply understand that it's literally going to come from you and you needing to be for the things that are not. You know, it doesn't. I promise you. Whatever you're doing, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't have to. I guarantee you don't have to. Don't limit yourself. You know. Now I'm not saying let it go and don't have anything. I'm saying start processing your bills. Start getting around the people who are doing the things that you want to do, and stay away from the plutocrats that allure you with the treasures, you know, of the worldly treasures, and think that they're going to do something for you or with you. 9 times out of 10, they're not. You want to surround yourself with the go-getters who have shown themselves to support. The go-getters who have shown themselves to FFYL. To FFYL. Because more than likely, those people are hungry to duplicate themselves. If you ever hear somebody say they're looking to duplicate themselves, this is the sort of language that you want to be around, the people you want to talk to, things of that nature. Franchising is everything when it comes to the ministry. The ministry is the business. That's just what it is. And you want to make sure you surround yourself with that. Slowly and surely sliding yourself out of that 9-to-5 sector and cipher, because your work has been done. You've acknowledged it just by saying you want something different. No different than a relationship. When you have hit the ceiling, the person isn't growing, do you feel that stagnation? You don't have to stay, you know it, and then you decide to go. How to build yourself up So then, therefore, you can receive that new thing that's coming in. Don't just hop into something. Build self up. I dated myself for many years before I met my wife. I know Broski did the same before he met his wife. We dated ourselves. Did you take yourself out to the movies and out to dinner?
I did.
There you go. It's the protocol.
I appreciate the lady I have in my life.
Most definitely, most definitely. Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, bro, you're easily desirable. I know, cause shit, I was at Applebee's getting hit on, bro. Like, let me pay for your meal. Nah, I mean, I'm good. But you go ahead. I appreciate it. You know. However, that's like you want to slide yourself slowly and surely out of that relationship. You don't want and I'm saying relationship as in financial, as in business relationship. You don't want to rebound. You don't want the rebound person. You know, so just make sure that you're opening yourself up. You're studying. You're doing self-development practices and protocols. Get into self-development. Get into self-development. It's everything that the Bible is for the flesh man. If the Bible is a little bit too what's the food? What's the food that write all the Shakespearean? If it's too Shakespearean for you, slide into some self-development. It speaks regular words for regular times that will elevate into some spiritual stuff. So you get to elevate yourself into that level and then open yourself up to that that community. And I'm gonna wrap up on this and give it to you, bro. Did you know that Harvard Business School is telling their students when they graduate, and they also say what a qualifier is, but find a qualifying multi-level marketing opportunity. Did you know that?
No, I can believe it though.
Now
I follow the Harvard straight up. Straight up.
I'll go handle it. I
Continue.
I'm
a close.
All right, bet it up. Now I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why they do it. Because I don't believe most people understand what they're getting into when they say that they want something for themselves. Because it's not the path of the selfish. It's not even the path of the plutocratic. It's not. You're doing this literally to share and care, and that's it. You're doing it to service somebody with something. Broski was just saying about the relationship. He was just saying personal aspects, as in I care, like a big old Care Bear. So they're saying we want to tear down the facades. We don't want you to open up a business in the first year, find out all the struggles of the business in the first year, and just get your butt. Well, most businesses don't even make it out of 5 years, bro. Yeah. Let alone 3. Usually they be messing. They be dead ducks at the end of the first year because of how much stuff they get to do and go through. However, if you're in a place that grooms you to grow and scale, learn SOPs, learn ROIs, but through physical activity, no more book stuff. That's what they really are saying. They're saying we want to take it from the book to your actual feet. And the only way to do that with minimal investment is this modality here. Because most people go $1 million thoughts, $1 million investments, $1 million gone. And they're saying, no, you already gave enough money to us, and they know it. And they're saying, go find yourself one that is a certain amount of years old, has only a certain amount of people in it, and basically is still early for the early adopters to see what you must be a visionary. And if you're not a visionary, personally, you have no business basically being in the ministry. Anyway,
Leave it alone.
yeah, just say
But you gotta
say goodbye.
Yeah, you gotta see. You gotta have sight. You gotta have sight.
Sight beyond sight.
Yeah.
You know, like on some lion nose stuff, bro.
You gotta see short game, long game,
Shit.
in between game.
You gotta see it when they don't see it. You gotta see it like on that Jesus tip.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that one, bro.
So I'm gonna close with a story. If y'all like my story, y'all just put a thumbs up over here.
Put a thumbs up in there.
Yeah.
What up, Terrence? I see you, bro.
So I had a client. I can't say what company she worked for because I don't want to put her business out there. Big corporate company. They were involved with the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the National Hockey League. They were involved with all these big positions she had. She had a baby. Showed up to the training session. She said, you know what? I'm not going back to work. I said, what? You know, mind you, the company she worked for, she was hooking her trainer up with stuff. So she was like, man, you know, I appreciate what you're doing. You know, you helping me. You know, the doctor told me working out helped my labor be easier. So she taking care of her trainer big time. Yeah. So I'm like, man, I'm like, good. So first thing I think was, oh, you know, what's your husband think? Yeah. She's like, I don't care. She's like, I don't really care what he thinks. And she said, I'm gonna tell you this. She's like, he works for himself. And she said, I believe in him. She said, well, most importantly, he believes in himself. Come on. So she's like, you're gonna be all right. Because I'm thinking straight up. I'm coming to this big house that I know. Yeah. Mama paycheck taking care of a lot of that. Yeah. While Charlie out here doing his thing, you know. But Charlie does his thing. Yeah. You know? And I said, wow. I said, man, you know, I said, did you equally make that decision? She said, Charlie has always told me, she said, we've always had a support between each other. Yeah, that word. Where if it's beneficial for one of us, it's beneficial for both of us. Ooh, she killing it. And I said, did she say that? She said that. Dang. And I said, wow. And I'm younger then. Yeah. I'm younger at this time. I'm just like, damn, that's the God. And it made me feel like, oh, for sure, because that's real. Because you know I was in a relationship. I didn't have that. You know, so, and she said, so, she's like, when it comes to us, she was like, if I feel that this is what's going to make me be good, he knows that me being good makes us good. And I know that him being good makes us good. And us being good makes this baby good. And she said, this baby doesn't need his mama gone, being stuck somewhere. You know, whether it's I gotta fly out of town, whether it's I gotta sit here, whether it's I gotta do the. She's like, I don't want that for another person. She said, even if it wasn't my own. She said, if somebody left this baby at my doorstep, I wouldn't want to do that to another person. Have them waiting for me to eat. Have them waiting for me to be clean. Have them waiting. She's like, and I wouldn't want to put it in no one else's hands if God gave it to me. This ain't somebody that's our color, so her speaking God, you know, is I mean, she you know, she ain't her. God ain't got no color, y'all. Yeah, that's why. But this wasn't somebody who, you know, is traditionally like our culture. Yeah. And so I was like, all I could think to say was, congratulations, all right. I mean. Because that's you know, now the average person who may work a 9 to 5 hearing that story, like, she's crazy, she's this, she's that, oh my God. But wait a minute, she said no, me and my partner have an understanding of support. She said, where it's like, if I'm good, then he know he good. And he knows if he's good, then I'm good, and we got to be good for what we do. She was like, this little person didn't say nothing. They didn't have no say so. They just got here, and she was like, so some say. She's like, so why would we be ungood to a gift? She was like, and so that's I was like, man, because I never forget it. Her name was Charlene. His name was Charles. Yeah. So I used to always call him CC's. Yeah. And I was like, man, I said, congratulations. That's powerful. Yeah. And so that doesn't mean where you're at now, you have to stay there. You don't have to settle. You can do what you're doing and still strive to do something else. And I think a lot of us should have got that out of COVID, is that we don't have to stay complacent in any situation that's not good for our heart, spirit, soul, mind, whatever. You don't have to stay complacent. You have to fight for your life. Yes, you only get one. You only get one. You only get one. And if you're fortunate enough to have someone within that life, just talk about it, y'all figure it out. Keep y'all the nucleus. keep y'all and God first. Keep God in this, because what COVID should have also showed us is that at any given minute, society can take society away. But they can't take away your life. They can't take away your love. And they can't take away your thought to be better and build. So if this situation so happens to come around again, the lesson we would have learned from it, or should have learned from it, is to value things that aren't outside of us. Because a lot of people were crippled after this situation because they didn't value things within themselves. They didn't value God. They may have said they was, and they was going to church and the mosque and the synagogue every week, but they didn't value those things, because as soon as society took the things away that they deemed bigger and better than God, they crippled. They were crippled. As soon as they found out that their soul wasn't connected to the person that they thought it was within their home, they was crippled. You know, and as soon as those things went away, we should have learned that really did those things in the first place. Now I like those things. Maybe I like those things. I like a nice comment. I like that. But when it comes down to getting you or my client that just came in out of this building, if it's on fire, man, if I gotta wrap a wet shirt around your head and wrap him in a wet fight for your life flag.
Somebody experienced fires before y'all heard that.
We out of here. We out of here.
Yeah,
when it comes to choosing my car over my children, it's like, man, blow that car and get my kids. You know, it's like when it comes to the house, these are things that God tries to show you that you can always rebuild. And God has told us this in plenty of books, the Bible, the Torah, everything tells you, you can always rebuild these things. Value me first. Value me first. And if you value that first, and you value who you love first.
Yeah, man. That's what Cece was doing, bro. Like, she didn't change the number, spit hot fire. She was spitting hot gospel fire, bro. Like, and I know why you congratulated her like she just hit the lotto or something. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's what it is. But that's that spiritual riches. But look, y'all go ahead and store up. FFYL.
Fight for your life.
We back at you soon.
Marty, if you want, you can come in, man, while we set up, finish